Let's start with the Brent crude prices, where they have seen a decline towards $96 per barrel today after the weak factory data from Europe and Asian economies, including China, the world's top energy consumer, deepened the concerns that the world economy is deteriorating. Renewed worries over the Eurozone crisis also are pressurizing the oil prices as enthusiasm over the EU bank deal fades. The decision helped crude climb to its fourth biggest daily gain on record on Friday. Also, the European Union oil embargo on Iranian oil shipments, which took effect on Sunday, is seen lending some support to the prices. But analysts say that the grim global macroeconomic picture is likely to cap any possible gains, and on your screens, 1.5% of decline coming in for Brent and NYMEX, both the crudes. The gold prices also have edged lower, taking a breather after a 3% rally in the previous session. Gold has settled below $1,600 an ounce to trade at currently $1,588, so some $8 of a decline coming in the European markets. To get the strategies on all of these commodities, we are now joined by Vijay Bhamwani. He is author and CEO at bsplindia.com, and Vandana Bharti is senior research analyst from SMC Comtrade. She joins us in Delhi. Vandana, hi, let me start with you. And how have you seen the movement in crude prices, the big jump up that we saw on Friday, and the kind of decline or profit taking that has come in today?
Yeah, Manisha, we have seen very good upside in last week. But yes, this week, in first half of the week, I'm expecting a little correction in the prices of crude oil, because we are today we have ISM manufacturing data from US, and it is expected to come in negative zone. And even tomorrow, I'm expecting some downside movement in crude oil. But yes, like on Thursday, there is an important meeting of ECB where we are expecting 25 bips cut in interest rate. And yes, this is an important event for this week, and like after many months, we are expecting that they'll go for 25 bips cut in interest rate, and that should be an important event for commodities as well. So for the first half of the week, I'm expecting a downside in base metals as well as in crude oil prices, and in international market, I'm expecting $81 to $80 again. In Indian market, yes, downside is kept because of the appreciation in rupee, and here I am expecting the level of 45.50, but in latter part of the week, I'm expecting a rebound in the prices.
Vijay, what's your sense after that huge gain up that we saw, nearly $9 of a run up on Friday? Today, profit taking was much expected.
You're right, Manisha. I did talk about this pullback being a technical pullback in nature, and I also remember mentioning that these kind of pullbacks can terminate without any adequate warning. So, barring an odd hurricane warning or any geopolitical stress which can result in some spike due to supply-side constraints, I think crude oil in the WTI grade will be range-bound between 84.65 on the upside and 81.5 to maybe 82 on the downside. As far as the MCX levels are concerned, I think the rupee-dollar parity will play a major role, because the rupee has gained for 3 days in a row vis-a-vis the US dollar. And there would be a breakout on the MCX, provided the price stays above the 4,725 levels. Only a successive closing of 2 sessions above this threshold with increased open interest will warranty a buy. Failing which, I do expect a decline of maybe 75 to 100 rupees in the interim. So I would stay off long purchases in crude of the MCX for now.
All right, not buying but selling is what Vandana is doing in crude. Vandana, what about the precious metal prices, especially gold? $50 of a run up on Friday, 3% of gains coming in. Today, of course, we have seen a very flat day coming in. Would you say it actually has fizzled out? That's the case be in other commodities as well?
Yeah, Manisha, for gold, again, I'm expecting that this commodity will continue to trade in a range, because in Indian market, we are not witnessing any decline in the prices. In international market, again, 1560 is a major support for this commodity, and the resistance is of around 1620. So it can move in a range of $1560 to 1620. But in Indian market, the range is very narrow, and here I'm expecting that it should move in a range of 28,500 to 29,800. So yes, this should be a range for Indian market. I'm not expecting much lower side in this commodity, again because of the rupee appreciation. And in rupee, I'm expecting that rupee should appreciate to the level of 54.5. So in coming time, we can see a more limited movements in commodities. So for gold, again, 28,500 is a very good level to go for buy.
Vijay, what's your sense on the precious metals, gold and silver? Both of them gained quite strongly on Friday. That was the case with most other commodities, asset classes as well. But between the both of you, which one do you think could sustain these gains?
I think in the absolute near term, gold is somewhat better poised because it's showing a higher amount of relative strength comparative vis-a-vis silver. But over the medium to long term, I think silver holds a better prospect of appreciation. And talking about levels, I think on the MCX, gold should not violate 29,250 levels if the upthrust and the recent gains are expected to be maintained and then built upon. On the upsides, I think any breakout above the 29,800 level will be a fresh invite for the bulls to buy again.
Vandana, what's your sense in the base metal prices? Because the data that has come in from China and Europe, the manufacturing numbers have been on the weaker side. So the kind of gains that you saw on Friday, which weren't too much in any case, would you see continuous pressure coming in for this sector?
Manisha, what I think that whatever good news we got from European Union, now it has discounted in the market, and now market is paying attention on whatever data came from China and Japan. So yes, now almost all base metals, even technically they are facing the resistance. There is a resistance of 430 in copper in Indian market. For again nickel, 945 is a very good resistance. So what I am thinking that my expectation is that to see a breakout, really we need a very good technical support as well as another good news in the market, and that is missing right now. So yes, on resistance I am expecting a fall in the prices of base metals. So even in copper I am thinking that again 422 is the level, is the support where the prices should move down.
Sell calls coming in from Vandana for everything, Vijay, whether it's energy, precious metals or base metals. What's your sense, especially in base metals? Because you have seen those pockets of slight gains coming in for aluminum, zinc, nickel sometimes. Would you discount all of that right now?
Manisha, there is a mirage or an artificial sense of rally in the last one or two trading sessions. Let's not forget there's been an expiry of June and rollover into July. The cost of carry is built into prices, which therefore look like an uptick. But this is not really an uptick, but the cost of carry getting factored into the price bars. I think in the next one or two trading sessions, there should be an equilibrium being built into the rates, and therefore the possibility is that more than half of these upticks may not really sustain. Having said that, I don't think crucial levels of supports, say aluminium at 102, nickel at 910, lead and zinc at 100 levels respectively, are yet to be violated conclusively. So shorting at current levels is not something that I would do. But then there are no signs of upward breakouts either. So the markets appear to be taking a rest. And since markets are basically sideways and not giving a clear signal, I think traders should rest too. So I don't really have a fresh strategy on any industrial metals at this point in time. I would wait for this cost of carry factor to get settled down and then probably take a call in the next one or two trading sessions.